Welcome back to another episode of the In Between Overs podcast, where your host of today's play, I'm Tarad.
And I'm Ishan.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Third T20I, India versus South Africa. India stormed back, make it 2-1. Bowling performances from Arshdeep stormed back after that second game, sorry, where he got absolutely trashed. He came back, took two good wickets, economy under 4. Harshit Rana played instead of Bumrah today. Bumrah took some personal leave. He he bowled really well, 2 wicket taking balls, especially the one that got, I think it was a QDK out, really good ball. And then India wrapping it up with the bat quite easily. Abhishek Sharma and Shubman Gill just breaking the back of the chase. They only ended up needing to chase 118, and they did it quite easily.
Yeah, look, India needed to answer back, and that's exactly what happened. There was a lot of questions raised post the defeat, but no, India came back, and it actually was from the bowling. I think there could be some questions on the batting, but the bowling really stepped up today, and you kind of saw that from the way Arshdeep Singh took those deliveries. He is known as, India's one of India's best T20 bowlers, and he's able to get a lot of first over wickets, which is obviously we know is super important to the power play. Got another one today, and when he gets at India, he's kind of on the right foot, and then Harshit Rana following it up as well, and then some other wickets as well from Pandya as well, and our favorite Shivam Dubey. I think he got a first ball wicket. That's always nice and handy to get, but no. At the end, it was a good bowling performance, I think, from India. And then the batting, I think it should have been an easy chase just with the way that the bowlers had done.
Let's start with the batting performances of both teams. I have a feeling the reason why both teams struggle with the bat is because the ball was moving around for the medium or the fast bowlers. And we saw that more with India than we did with South Africa, mainly because Abhishek Sharma was able to do his thing where he was hitting the good balls to the boundaries and was challenging the lengths and lines of the South Africans. But you saw when he got out, and you saw the South African bowlers able to swing the ball and seam the ball still, where Shubman Gill felt it awkward at times. After the partnership, it seemed like he was struggling for timing again. The ball started moving still or kept moving. And then we saw the same with the other batters as well. And same thing happened in South Africa's innings, where Harshit Rana and Arshdeep Singh were able to make the ball talk. I believe they bowled a 3-3 in the power play in a row. And usually that's the case when they're able to move the ball or the ball is moving more for the fast bowlers. And we saw Sky trust in them. And I felt it was the conditions that made it more challenging for the batters to bat on both sides.
Yes, and I totally agree with that. And to your point, the way that Indian opening bowlers were bowling made it super difficult. And to your point, when especially if India's batting came along, when the South African bowlers were able to get more accurate and fully understand the wicket, is when Shubman Gill really slowed down, and we saw that from his pace of play. It was entirely different when he was batting with Abhishek Sharma versus after Abhishek Sharma got out. That's when the bowlers started really hitting their lines and lengths properly, getting that movement. And Shiv Shubman Gill has always been susceptible to the moving ball. That's always been a critique about his ability. That tag of a flat track bully has always been carried with him. So, and again, performances like this, which he gave a solid volume of runs in the grand scheme of things, because again the number of runs weren't too much, but this is not a T20 innings really from Shubman Gill, so especially.
Who looked really good once again was Tilak Varma, who thankfully came in the position that I believe you should always be walking in, especially in this T20 team at number 3. He just knows how to play the situation, and we saw that today where he played a very calm and collected innings, made sure that he was there right till the end. It Strike rate's not the best, but that's what it called for. India didn't need to go big. They just needed to play proper cricketing shots, see off good balls, and they would be home, because the only way South Africa were going to win this game is if they took wickets constantly, and that did not happen.
Exactly. Why, at least in my eyes, does Sky not look comfortable?
I think it's getting to a situation where his strength is also turning into his downfall or his weakness. He got out to that classic flick shot that he plays, the sky special that everyone knows him for, the flick or the half pull on the legs, where he kind of shovels the ball behind him, right? In the V behind the wicket. And we've seen him get out now quite a few times with that shot where captains and oppositions always have a field set for that. And it doesn't help when he's not able to time the ball properly, is when he can get out. So that is what happened today, where it seemed like the ball kept a little lower. At least that's what his reaction indicated after he hit the shot. And so his timing was off and he got out. It was a great catch by Bartman, running catch.
Mhm.
Um, I think it's one of those where he probably has to revisit how often he plays that shot.
I agree. I agree. He's, if you look at, for example, the Asia Cup as well against Pakistan, I believe he got out twice to that shot. One, it
Mhm.
totally went, I think, to third man, and he was trying to go, as you mentioned, all the way, all the way up behind him. So no, not having that time shot at all. And yeah, he doesn't look good. And again, he was at number three batsman for a while. They really pressured him to be there. Then obviously, having to change it order now to number four, as you mentioned, very deservedly so as a number three. Um, but again, the number four as well, from a batting position in a T20 game is super coveted because that player needs to keep the momentum going. And unfortunately, at least in my eyes, it does not seem like Sky is able to keep that momentum going forward. Hopefully, I'm wrong. Hopefully, again, it's just a phase. But in my eyes, Sky definitely needs to keep it moving forward.
He's got two more games to put up a substantial score, and here's hoping that he's able to, because it's not looking good right now for the Indian skipper. All right, so let's talk about South Africa's innings. So South Africa, it seems like looking at the toss here,
India won the toss.
they won the toss, selected to bowl first, and rightfully so with the conditions at hand. South Africa did not get off to a good start. The power play was essentially dictated by the way Arshdeep and Harshit bowled. Shout out to Harshit Rana. Came in for Bumrah. Bumrah out for personal reasons, so hopefully everything's okay with him. Harshit Rana comes in and he looked good in those 3 overs. He obviously went for some tap in the last over that he bowled, but that was towards the end of the innings. But in that power play, he looked really good along with Arshdeep.
Yes, and it's super great when you're able to take a Bumrah out and replace him with a Harshit Rana who is able to get wickets. Because when he's able to get those wickets, be accurate, be aggressive, it kind of fits the whole bowling lineup perfectly well with Arshdeep's beautiful, ability to move the ball and Harshit's natural just hit the deck ability. And so, it's super great to get those early wickets and getting, a player like QDK, someone who was able to get close to a century last match out early is always great to have.
The spinners also chipped in. Varun Chakravarthy. Kuldeep Yadav didn't bowl that much. I think he bowled his second over, which was the last over of the innings. Sky trusted the medium pacers more,
Uh,
rightfully so. It was that kind of wicket. But Varun Chakravarthy looked really good. It was 3 overs for 7 runs, and then it was only in his last over where he gave 4 runs, which still isn't much. But that shows how well he bowled the entire his entire 4 overs on a wicket that again was suitable more for the faster bowlers.
yes, yes. Again, it just goes to the point that they were not able to read him. And, he, again, bowled extremely well. And again, when he's on game, great. Do want to give a few comments to Kuldeep Yadav as well. I think, it was great for him to get those 2 wickets at the end in the 19th over, his second over as well, because it was also his birthday. So it's great to see him able to get those 2 wickets on his birthday.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't even know that. Happy birthday to Kuldeep. Deserve those 2 wickets there. And it seems like he is right now the second choice spinner for India in T20Is. I feel Varun Chakravarthy, you can't drop him. I think if you're playing one spinner, you're keeping Varun and you're unfortunately leaving out Kuldeep.
T20 World Cup in India and Sri Lanka this year. Are you still putting Varun over Kuldeep?
Depends on the combination because you're gonna have Akshar Patel playing. Akshar didn't play today. I think he had some sort of sickness or illness and he couldn't play. And so they brought in Kuldeep, who's not an all-rounder. So Akshar, I feel, will always play because of his
Yeah.
all-rounder talent that he gives India with the bat and the ball, whereas Kuldeep is just a bowler out and out. And so between Varun and Kuldeep, I think it's always going to be Varun, and then Kuldeep's going to be second choice. And I think it's on pitches where India feel that they need three spinners, where Kuldeep comes into play
Fair, fair,
because
fair.
because I feel that
A
their
nice little
combination right
Chennai
now
wicket.
was that.
A nice little Chennai wicket.
Yeah, a nice slow Chennai wicket, maybe even at the Eden Gardens, right? With those slow low wickets, you could see India play three spinners and maybe one fast bowler and Hardik Pandya and Shivam Dubey playing as medium pace all rounders, right?
Oh yes. Oh, that's dangerous. No, no, but no, I see exactly what you mean there. So no, yeah, great to see the spinners at least come to action this game as well, especially with this, a lot of the fast bowlers dominating the action.
Nothing to speak of for South Africa. We had Markram holding the ship with a 61 from 46 balls. Looked good. He played really well, and you felt for him because he didn't have anybody else on the other end. Kudos to India's bowling. They were super tight and they didn't allow the other batters, any of them, to stick in. Donovan Ferreira looked threatening, but once again Varun cleaned him up and then he cleaned Marco Jansen up as well. They had no clue which way the ball was going to turn.
Yeah, no, and I do, I do agree with all of that. One player that I did want to mention very quickly from a South African batting perspective is Brevis. Brevis, I think, has had a not so great series with the expectations he had coming in. He's been a coveted player in the IPL, made some big franchise moves from Mumbai to Chennai, has a lot to prove as well, just because with the promise that came with him. This tour to India has been a little shy of what he was expected to do. But it'd be really interesting to see, if he gets the opportunity in the next 2 games to see how he responds.
Yeah, he definitely needs to kick on. He's only gotten starts. He hasn't gotten a big score. In the one days, he's got that 150, but that's about it. He's only been getting starts this entire white ball series, and he hasn't been able to convert any of those into a substantial score. And I think he's due a substantial score, and he needs to. Because yeah, there's a lot relying on him in that middle order, especially in this T20I squad for South Africa.
Yeah, yeah, and I think from a again batting perspective as well, India's bowlers did really, really well to really keep the pressure on South Africa. Because they were going for the shots, they had to go for the shots, and they were just not hitting them, and India was able to capitalize.
For T20I coming up, who you got?
Well, I think I do want to say India now just is probably going to steamroll. I think Abhishek's in form. I think Shubman Gill, he got back to bowl this game as well. I think now India is going to steamroll South Africa going forward. What about you?
All right. Yeah, I feel it. I feel a lot depends on the pitch and who bats first. But the momentum's in India, but you never know in T20Is. And South Africa did have three changes to their lineup, um, which seem to have messed with their combination. So maybe they make some they make some changes. I think it was forced changes, if I'm not mistaken. But they may go back to that combination that worked so well in that second T20I, and hopefully they're able to remember what worked well in that game and replicate that and make this a competitive series. Otherwise, yeah, we could see India wrapping it up in Lucknow.
But no, hey, it'll be a great series again. One of the big coveted series before the D20 World Cup. Can't wait to see what happens. Do you see any changes from India's side?
I don't see any changes unless Bumrah is done with his personal leave. He comes back in for Harshit. Harshit goes right back out, even though he did well. And then maybe if Akshar is still ill, they may decide to maybe play another all rounder. I think Washi's in the squad, if I'm not mistaken, if they need some more batting depth, or else they just keep Kuldeep in.
Fair. Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think too many changes from India's side, but it'd be nice to see how they perform in the fourth T20I.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Until then, that stumps.